Yo, sounding people, back again for another stream. Don't forget to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. So, England's 26-man squad confirmed for the Euro 2024. To be honest with you, not much surprise in my opinion, apart from maybe one or two players I would say that's been left out. Just going to run through the squad again, and then we're going to run through the players that didn't get selected. So the three goalkeepers. So as well from my previous stream about the England squad, who I thought would be taken, I more or less got it spot on. I think there's probably one or two that I didn't get. So the goalkeepers, you've got Jordan Pickford, Dean Henderson, and Aaron Ramsdale. Obviously, Pickford will be the number one, with Henderson and Ramsdale backing him up. And then in defence, you've got John Stones, Lewis Dunk, Ezri Konsa, Carl Walker, Mark Guehi, Kieran Trippier. So you've got John Stones, obviously if he's fit, will be starting at centre-back. And for me, it'll be a toss-up, I think, between Guehi and... Well, do you know what? I was going to say Konsa, but I think it might be Dunk, because I think Dunk is probably the closest thing to what Southgate will see in Maguire. But then you've got Ezri Konsa, who's got the added incentive of pace as well. And aerially, he's very good. And then obviously you've got Mark Guehi, who played the last international. So I'm going to say it could be... I mean, I would play Konsa, I think. But I think it might be Guehi. But it wouldn't surprise me if it is Dunk. And then you've got... also Luke Shaw and Joe Gomez as well to complete the defence. Carl Walker will start right back. And then you've got Joe Gomez, who can play across the back four, left back, right back, or centre back. So that's good cover there. Obviously, Luke Shaw has been out injured. Obviously, he's got to prove his fitness. And then you've got Kieran Trippier, who's very versatile as well, can play right and left back. So Carl Walker will start right back. Depending on Luke Shaw's fitness, Kieran Trippier will play at left back. And then I think Joe Gomez will be the cover option for all positions. So, yeah, I'm going to go Pickford in goal, John Stones and... Mark Guehi, I would say, and Walker and Trippier if Shaw's not fit. And then we're going to midfield. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Gallagher, Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, and a surprise inclusion of Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton, I think, is a very good player. Personally, I think I didn't expect him to get called up, and judging by some of the other players that have been left out, it was a bit surprising. But I think if you're going to call up Wharton, he has to play. He has to be justified, in my opinion. I don't think there's any point in bringing Wharton, and he's going to be there for the experience, because I think if you look at England's squad now, that squad there has to do something. And I think leaving certain players out and selecting an Adam Wharton, who I think is a very good player, he has to be in contention to start if you're looking to bring him. We know what Southgate's going to do already. He's going to play Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham in there. And then the third player will be up for grabs. And I believe he's going to play Conor Gallagher. Some people might say Trent, but Trent against some of the best teams in the tournament, I think might be a liability. Against lesser teams, he might get a start. But then you've got Kobbie Mainoo as well, for me, who's good enough to start. And then you've got Conor Gallagher, as I said. And I think Gallagher's more or less replaced Jordan Henderson's legs in the midfield. So I think Gallagher might get the nod to play alongside Rice. And then he's going to play Bellingham in the 10. And then the forwards, you've got, I'm surprised, conclusion, Jarrod Bowen. Didn't think Bowen would get selected. Anthony Gordon, Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, top player. Harry Kane is obviously the captain. Ivan Toney, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Ollie Watkins. So for me, Jarrod Bowen, I think out of all the wide players that England have at their disposal, I think Bowen will get the less minutes because Saka's going to be first choice on that right-hand side. And then you've got Cole Palmer, who's ahead of Bowen, or should be in the pecking order. And then you've got Phil Foden, who can also play out on the right as well. But he might start on the left. Now, Bowen is going to be behind those three, in my opinion. And then I think it's going to be a case where if England are chasing the game and they want to go for it, then they might just chuck on as many fours as they can. And that's when Bowen might come into contention. But he's going to be behind Saka, Palmer, and Foden on that right-hand side for me. And then you've got on the left-hand side, which would be interesting because I think Foden's going to start on that left-hand side. And then it's going to be between, and then you've got Eze and Gordon, who can both play out there. Eze can play out there. And then you've got Gordon as well. So the options there for England, I think Foden will be the first choice out on that left-hand side because he's going to play Saka. And then it's up to Eze and Gordon to have an impact to kind of force their way into the lineup. And then also you've got Eze who can play in the 10 as well, which I'll be starting him in the 10 if I'm honest. And then the three strikers, you've got Harry Kane, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins. Obviously, Harry Kane's the captain. He's going to be playing. And then you've got Toney and Watkins that will be backing him up. I think Watkins, for me, will be behind Toney because Watkins, in terms of international football, doesn't have that kind of pedigree, in my opinion. And I think, again, if England are chasing the game or they want to change the flow of the game, Ollie Watkins running in behind might be a bit of an asset. But in terms of Ivan Toney's hold-up play and his all-round ability, Ivan Toney, for me, would be the perfect player to come on if Harry Kane's not in the game or if Harry Kane's not playing too well or if he needs a rest. So, yeah, to be fair, it's a interesting squad. The players that have been left out. So I'm going to start first on Jack Grealish. For me, Jack Grealish needed to be in that squad personally because Jack Grealish individually is arguably one of England's best players. You know, and international football is more about how good you are individually because obviously the England manager is not going to have these players every day. So you need to be building your team really on the best individual players and then trying to construct a cohesive squad that can kind of facilitate that. And Jack Grealish, as an individual player, is, as I said to you before, is one of England's best players. So to see Grealish get left out, and I did predict this as well, because the fact Rashford was left out for Anthony Gordon, that more or less just nailed on Anthony Gordon's place in the squad. Because in terms of players that are inverted playing from the left, Anthony Gordon is probably the only natural one in that squad that plays there for club and country. Eze has been playing there, but Eze is more of a number 10. And Phil Foden is more of a number 10, but can play on the right and the left. So the fact that Rashford was left out, Anthony Gordon was a shoo-in, but I don't think Gordon will start. But Grealish obviously does play out there for Man City, and I was certain that Grealish would be playing. But yeah, he's not involved. Same with James Maddison. I think Maddison had a poor ending to the season, but I think Maddison can find himself hard done by as well. Obviously, I think he's 27 years of age now, and obviously the work he's done to get into the squad in the first place has now obviously been undone really by not being selected. So he can find himself hard done by. Harry Maguire, I mean, obviously his fitness, he's still not fully fit. He would have gone, obviously, but obviously he's been out injured. So there's not really much to talk about there. Trafford, Curtis Jones, Jarell Quansah. I think, yeah, they were never really going to go, in my opinion. So I had them three not to go. It was more or less just calling them up to the squad and them obviously doing something special to force their way in, but I never saw it happening. I think the surprise one is Jared Brantwaite, because Brantwaite is the only left-footed centre-back, and you would have thought they would have taken him for balance. Obviously, Luke Shaw can play as a left-sided centre-back if need be, But I think Jared Brantwaite for me was a bit of a surprise because he would have added balance. So yeah, I mean, obviously Southgate, you know, he does pick some weird teams, but more notably, Jack Grealish not in there is a bit of a massive shock for me. So yeah, England's 26-man squad, they go with that in the summer. As I said, you expect England to get out the group, but depending on who they meet in the group is going to be interesting. In the next round, if they get out, will be interesting. And obviously, it can be down to him to play the correct team, which for me he never has done. So yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, guys, if you got any comments or if you got any views to make and you think England should be playing with a different team, then smash that in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. Smash that like button, and I'll catch you guys back at 7. I'm gonna be talking about the Barcelona versus Real Madrid. I've got a good one on this one. So basically, the young stars, are they primed to dominate world football? But I'll be getting into that about 7 o'clock. So keep a lookout for that, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Take it easy.